Well, good evening everyone, and welcome to the Excite Racing League pre-show, sponsored by GT Omega Racing and GamePort.co.uk. This week is round 12 at the mighty Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium. Joining me tonight is our very own XRL Bernie.
Good evening, Steve-O, and welcome to tonight's pre-show, everybody. On tonight's pre-show, we will be reviewing all action from the 5 divisions from Hungary, and we'll be focusing on the build-up for this week's Belgian Grand Prix. We also have an interview with Danny Pearce 95 on his fantastic start to the XRL Life and our Driver Spotlight series. This week featuring F1 Division head Daz LFC Gerald. It's great listen.
Also coming up tonight, we have our usual driver challenge, where we will see if Nathan Nige, I think it is, can be knocked off the top spot, as well as passing it over to our very own, again, XRL Bernie and Swish for the mighty race round Spa-Francorchamps. Well anticipated, this one.
Yeah, it's a classic track, definitely one of the best ones on the calendar. All the drivers like it, and I think most of the commentary and everyone who likes to watch it, it's one that's definitely up there. But first off, the F1 Division race was live on Twitch TV last week after the pre-show, and it delivered some great driving between the top two yet again.
Oh, it was amazing. Possibly one of the best battles I've seen for a long time. And it was their first dry race, 100% dry race of the season, so it was a true showing of raw pace from the drivers.
Yeah, that was.
Also, Emu got his penalty as well. Sorry, it's fine. Emu got his penalty, running wide at the white lines. We do stress it a lot on drivers, don't we, Bernie, that the white lines do define the limits of the track. I know Swish gets quite annoyed when drivers go wide.
Yeah.
So it's good to finally see someone punished in a really harsh manner. I don't mean it to be, but it's good to set an example in a way, because people are playing fast and loose with those lines.
Exactly.
I know I am in some races.
Exactly, the F1 division should be the top division, and with a dry race I was kind of expecting Emu to just go out there, win the race nice and easy, because I think he is the quickest driver in the dry conditions. We have had a lot of changeable conditions, that's why we've seen Nige win the races. But he was pushing the car a little bit too much on too many occasions, and he's picked up a penalty from the stewards, which unfortunately I probably have to agree with. Swishbone is very unhappy in the race, but No One Can Beat Me was a new driver last week. He had his debut after a few social races. He got his chance in the Mercedes partnering CD, and it wasn't the best race for him. He retired, but he spoke to me about it, and just a change of car at the last moment, and possibly not the best setup in practice, but he thinks he'll be right up there this week, so it should be quite good for him this week.
Alright then. Well, tonight we'll see those guys in action, obviously. Who do you think's going to do well then, Bernie?
Who do I think's going to do well? I'd like to see Danny Pearce do well. He's dropped his car up 2 divisions from GP3 after 2 successful races, winning races quite comfortably in that division. His previous league experience should help him out. We've got an interview with him coming up. I would like to see him do well. Rapid's going to be up there, judging from the pace that I've listened to. They seem to be decent, not quite on it, but good. Who else? Lewis Hamilton's always up there. He's got a chance. But again, it's always going to be Nige and Emu, the big 2, with maybe RBX Kubica's near there as well. So, on the balance of it, I think I have to say Nige.
I'm looking forward to seeing XRL Elite, actually. And Star, the 2 Red Bulls.
Yeah, Star. Well, he has actually got a little bit of practice on this week. It's unreal. He's been really busy. I spoke to him during the week. He has been flat out. But why not? Why not? He should be able to do well. So, but for me, Nige, just because Belgium's a changeable conditions track, so he's got a good chance. Right, so we're in the Williams garage for a driver interview, and this week we have got hold of F1 Division's new driver, Danny Pearce 95. Right, Danny?
Yeah, alright.
So, are you looking forward to the challenge of double promotion effectively after 2 fantastic races? Are you looking forward to it?
Yeah, it should definitely be interesting making the move from GP3 to F1. Competition's a lot tougher, so and drivers a lot more consistent, so it should be pretty good.
And well, you had 2 races in GP3. You won them both reasonably comfortably, but were you surprised that you got into F1 and heard the great things from F1 Nige saying that you seem to have good pace and you can fit in well?
Yeah, well, it was quite the shock when we just did the social race and I managed to keep pace with him, so, and it was just nice to hear the feedback from Nige just saying, oh, you've got good pace, so it's nice to know that one of the top drivers actually thinks I can compete in F1, so yeah, I am looking forward to it.
And bypassing a few GP2 drivers who, well, have good pace, I think it just shows how tight the league is. What are your expectations for the first few races in F1 time?
Objective's just to finish top 5, but by the end of the season I am hoping to survive, so I need to be consistent and getting top 5 victories places.
So you're going for it, but being a former Apex Racing League driver, do you think that gives you good experience, or is there quite a lot of difference between the 2 leagues?
I not I like kiss up, but I definitely think XRL Racing League is actually better. There's a lot more consistency in the drivers. Everyone in the league seems to be on the same level, whereas in Apex you had quite a difference. So I do definitely like it more in here, but I only did a few races in Apex and then I just kind of like had to quit due to exams, but I don't think it'll give me a massive advantage at all, so just have to see how the race goes.
Right, well, good luck for Belgium. You seem to be on the pace as the car goes past there. Uncle Williams of Cornish Gamers, who's out there at the moment. But yeah, good luck this week, and hopefully we'll see you get onto the podium very soon.
Thanks.
Right, so on Monday we saw the GP2 drivers in action at Hungary, and with a week off, here is how the table looks.
Right, well, we've got Connor Rice at the top there in the Lotus. Consistency from him, look at those, he's got 25, 25, 25, 10, 18. He hasn't finished outside the top 5 all season, which is great consistency from him. But you've got other people taking wins recently, myself, Tuppers, who well, Tuppers looks quite strong, Belgium, I imagine.
Yeah, kind of
winning
worried.
His 3rd race, I think it is.
Yes.
Just coming back.
Yeah, he came back.
Yeah.
He had Silverstone, which wasn't his best.
Another winner.
And then he won.
Jelly Squeaks.
Jelly Squeaks,
Yeah.
He won at Silverstone. He nicked my win. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
And 4th.
Tuppers is a solid driver, and he will do well this week. There's no doubt. He's judging from the pace in practice sessions, where whenever people can get a practice session with him, he is right up there with the top F1 guys this week. So it's going to be difficult, but I'd rather see someone like Tuppers win who can't win a title than Connor. So fair enough. But
You would say that with you in 2nd place, wouldn't you, though?
I'm one of only a couple of drivers, as Clark's pointed out a few weeks ago, who scored a point in every race. I'm going for Kimmy's record now.
Well, your target is what? To win 6 races, isn't it?
Yeah, I've got to start winning some, haven't I? But, you know, GP2's difficult.
Good luck with that. You've got Sean Bean, Connor, Jelly, Tuppers, Red Snapper to compete with.
Oh, God, yeah.
You've got some firm competition for that target, mate. Sorry to say.
And speaking of Red Snapper, we spoke to him earlier this week for the driver challenge. Remember, the time to beat is from the formidable Lotus duo of Nige and Nutters. Can the pair rise to the top, or will they make plenty of errors and drop behind the F5000 pair of Teddy and Gravedigger?
That was off.
So while Red Snapper goes around the Spa track, Red Snapper's also going to answer some questions, doing it from the driver's seat. Red Snapper, you are very multitasking. You've got 1 minute.
Oh, yeah.
answer as many questions about the Belgian Grand Prix, or Belgium, as many as you can in that 1 minute, okay? No pressure, Ed, no pressure.
No pressure, no.
Alright, I've got to line my questions out here, because he's still going around the track on the thing apparently. Right, and your time starts now. Which track currently hosts the Belgian Grand Prix?
Oh, Francorchamps.
Yeah. What corner has a lateral G-force of 5?
Eau Rouge.
Yeah. Which is the most successful British driver at the Belgian Grand Prix?
British driver at the Belgian Grand Prix. That is a fascinating question. I'm glad you've asked it. I would like to discuss this with someone who knows the answer. Hamilton, wrong.
No. How many tracks have hosted the Belgian Grand Prix?
3.
Yeah. Who's the most successful Belgian driver?
Ah, is there one?
What year was the massive pile-up in the wet range Spa?
Oh, I've no idea, but that was awesome. I know.
You're a great person. It's 1998. Has a Belgian ever won the Belgian Grand Prix?
No.
Well done. That is the minute. You got 4 right, so not bad at all, Red Snapper.
With a hangover.
And you made it fun as well. We'll see if that's good enough to win. We'll share the table after this lap. So here are the tables for the driver challenge, and you can clearly see there, Red Snapper not quite doing enough with his partner Draco Fire to get into the lead. 2 seconds short. Definitely feel like he made a mistake going into lap it there. But on Tuesday night we'll have GP3 action, 100% round Spa. Steve-O, are you looking forward to it? Who do you think is going to do well?
Yeah, of course I'm looking forward to it. I look forward to every race because I'm a Keno. But yeah, I'm looking forward to racing against the likes of Tom, Ginge, New. Obviously I want to race with my partner, Just Key, get some vital points to Lotus so they can steal those 9 points to top the championship. But we've got some tough competition. Like I said, Tom, he's topping the tables now, consistent 3rds and 2nds, so he's going to be really tough. Got to look out for him. Also, New Boy, I don't know how to say that. I am Boyce. He won his debut race in Britain. Still got to watch out for him. Got Germany and Hungary, not his races. Random name 68. New guy I think as well. Oh no, the guy I know in Bahrain, he scored some points. He hasn't scored any since then, so see what he can do now, see if he can get some points back on the table. LGS, I remember racing against him in Germany. He's strong, so I've got to look out for him. And this is quite a high-speed track, so it'll be quite tense at most places, to be honest.
Yeah, you must feel quite fortunate that Danny Pearce isn't in that division anymore. He would have given you a good run for your money. He's got up 2 divisions to F1 now, so wow. Relieved?
Yeah, I mean he smashed it in Hungary. He was on the head, so it was clear that he was much quicker than GP3 pace. But that said, Tom was still not too far off him for comparison's sake. I was in 3rd last week at Hungary and I was quite a bit off the pace, so Tom was looking the favourite to win Belgium so far, so we'll see.
And that will be live on Westwick 51 will be streaming it. It should be on the Excite Racing League channel, so hope some of you guys can watch that on Tuesday. See guys at Steve-O, PE, LGS, in action.
There's only a few cars out on track. We should consider getting out there.
Races. Rather change conditions. I have to feel for Daz.
Yeah, I caught the tail
We've
end
been
of
awarded
it.
a 10-place grid.
I think the last 3rd, but I remember there was rain there, but not enough to make him change to Inter, which is always challenging for any driver. But I can only imagine what it was like for them. I mean, Daz, yeah, as you said, losing out. Schumacher taking the win, I believe. Yeah, Schumacher taking the win. Strimpo 2nd, followed by Lethal, championship leader in 3rd. So that's some well-scored points for him. What do you think?
Definitely. Lethal's gained a few points on Daz, and I have to feel for Daz in that race because he had a good qualifying. He put the car up there. He had a great start to the race. He was just driving away, and it was sunny, and the showers started coming in, and it was still sunny. And that's the problem with it. They didn't know whether to go in or whether it was going to get heavier. And probably what happened was for Daz, he came in for his stop, and they told him it was just going to. The drizzle was going to stop, and he got that wrong because he had to take 2 extra pit stops. So it wasn't that the pace was that much different when he was out on track, but he just had to make the extra stops compared to some of the others, which pretty much lost him that race. But Schumacher didn't do too much wrong. He had a good race. Lethal's right up there. It's such a close championship, and it's good to see Shrimpo right up there, 2nd place again this week. 2 second places on the trot. It's looking really solid for him, and he might well overtake Sailed Flash for getting out of the relegation zone. But it's very, very close in the championship. Ginge isn't there anymore. He's gone up to GP3. But Lethal, Schumacher, Daz, rightful Chip, someone who Daz says is going to be right up there in the Driver Spotlight series, which will be coming up in a second. He thinks that rightful Chip could be the one to beat, not the Toro Rossos, because only one driver can win the title, and if they're 2 in the same team, then that makes it a little bit harder, doesn't it? So that's Daz's opinion on it.
Going back to what you said about how tight F4 is, I've got the timing sheet up from that race. Schumacher finished 51 minutes, 56 seconds. Shrimpo in 2nd place, just 2 seconds behind him. And then from 3rd to 5th, they're separated by 1.1 seconds.
Yeah, it was
It's
really
incredibly
tight.
close.
That was such an exciting finish. You had the rain had just started clearing and it was drying up. And you had some guys thinking, right, we can go to the end on these inters, and you had others thinking, right, the inter's not good enough. Especially Daz, this was, who decided, right, go in the pits, 5 quick laps, really put it on, and he nearly caught them up. Could have made about another half a lap, and he would have been in a podium position. But that's unfortunately how it goes, and, well, he's now got to try and find some way to get some points back on Lethal. But, as I said earlier, I caught up with the F4 division head, Daz LFC Gerard, on how he's finding life as a division head, as well as being in the title hunt that he is in with Lethal and Schumacher. Right, so we're here for the Driver Spotlight Series featuring F4 division head, Daz LFC Gerard. How's it going, Daz?
Good, Dan. You?
Yes, it's not bad. Well, where to start really? You joined the league Japan last season. You did very well. How's it been for you since you've joined the league?
It's been a whole lot better since I've switched teams from Caterham to Mercedes on the end of season, well, finish of the season to start of this season. Enjoying the Mercedes a lot more than I was the Caterham, put it that way.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. Caterham's not a great car as such, but well, how about the step up in responsibility? You've become a division head, just from becoming you're only in the league for about 6 races, and then becoming a division head in F4. How's that been? Has the tasks been quite difficult? The guys that you race with, what are they like? Is it easy work or?
Well, the work itself isn't too much of a problem. I started my own website when I got into the league, just so I could keep track of my results, and then I ended up getting a bit carried away with that, and going into all the divisions and recording all the results. As far as the races go in my league, we've got a good bunch of lads. They're all pretty clean races, and they've all got pretty much the same sort of pace, depending what track you're in and what the conditions are. I mean, some lads are better in the rain than they are in the dry, obviously. There's a few lads in particular who don't like the rain, full stop, who'd rather do something else altogether than drive in the rain, but still there, still getting points.
Well, yeah, exactly. I can remember talking to you towards the end of last season, and you had folders of things.
I did.
For
I was
results.
a Stone Age man.
But well, what?
I'm surprised I wasn't rubbing it in the walls in stone.
Do you still run your website? Quick shout out, you may as well do it if it's still going.
I do, yeah. It's Formula One Red at Weebly.com. I haven't updated it for about a fortnight though, so that needs doing when I get.
Very, very well since you've joined, and every time I speak to you just outside the lobbies, you're like, I'm going to win the championship, I'm going to win the championship. F4 is very tight. What do you still think you can win it? Who are your main title rivals this season?
I was a bit concerned with Lethal and Ginge. And then Ginge had his so-called sabbatical race where he went off for a week and missed 1 or 2 races, I think. And he got right down the leaderboard. And Lethal has been inconsistent as well. He's had a couple of non-starters where he's picked up 0 points. I ain't actually had a race where I picked up no points. 4's been my lowest, I think. So, to be fair, I think my highest contender right now, even though there's a couple of lads in front of me with Schumacher and Lethal, teammates as well, I think the highest contender I've got to worry about is Chip, because he seems to have found a lot of pace recently. I don't know about Lethal or Schumacher. They can both argue amongst themselves while they're racing them two. They can win each other's race. It's going to be to watch.
Well, it's been really good to get an insight as to how you feel the league's going. Obviously, your championship campaign. Hopefully, it will end up all good and you win the title. But it's going to be very, very tight. 5 to 6 drivers got a chance. So, if you want to listen to the full version of this interview, then sign up to Premium today. And you get extra podcasts, competitions, and so on. So it's a great way to help out the website. So thanks, Daz, and back to the studio. And our second race at 8:30 on a Wednesday night, which will either be covered by myself on Excite Racing League or Weswick 51, is the F5 Division race. Last week I wasn't there. Weswick covered that one. But it was a decent race. Teddy winning again. He seems to be on form. I know this week he's looking strong again. What have you made of it so far, Steve-O?
I'm still shocked by some of the pace of the F5 drivers. I mean, Teddy's a good friend of mine, so I race with him quite a lot. I race with Gravedigger quite a bit as well, and Elroy. I use my setups with him. I tweak it, and he tweaks his, and we're sort of similar. And they're keeping up with me in GP3, so their little battle at the front there between Teddy, Elroy and Gravedigger is incredible.
Yeah,
I mean, all of them are scoring good points consistently, apart from Gravedigger in Germany, only getting 2 points. All of them are finishing in the top 3 or 4. It's the same results, kind of, that incredible battling.
It is very, very close. You are right there. Teddy, we get to see a lot of practice. Him, Gravedigger and Elroy, and they are always on the pace. And it is unbelievable how those guys, they could easily race in GP3 and put a good fight and get maybe the odd podium. And you saw last season, Swishbone, Adam Watson, they're in higher divisions, or Swishbone was in a higher division. He's now just our commentator, our David Croft. But they've gone up divisions. So's in Mate, he's gone up 2 divisions from GP3. It's extremely close between some of the guys. F1 Originals, he seems to have come into the league in F5 and doing really well, so there's no reason why he can't move on and get some race wins. I know he's a big friend of F1 Speed in the F1 division, so maybe some help there. May get some backhand setup advice from a confused emu, but we'll find out about that. But do you think Elroy can hold on to this title now? It's the lead is dropping.
It is dropping, with Teddy smashing these previous races. I mean, 4 to 5 last races, he's won. So he's closed the gap down to 28 points now. And he'll easily close that even further over the next 9 races. 9 races? Yeah, including Belgium, I think.
Yeah, 9 including Belgium.
Yeah. And then you've got a massive battle between Gravedigger and Motorsport Nerd.
Yeah,
about 6 points away from each other.
We don't talk about Motorsport Nerd much. He seems to get in the wars quite a bit. He had a struggle at Hungary, but he has got genuine pace, and I think it'll be very, very close between those two. But I'm going to quickly head up to the box. Me and Swish will be commentating on the F1 race tonight, so it's going to be good fun. But we'll see you guys. I'll see you guys later.
Okay, well that's been the pre-show sponsored by GT Omega Racing and GamePod.co.uk. Now time to hand you over to Swish and Bernie for the F1 race at Belgium.
Well, here we are at round 11 of the XRL Excite Racing League F1 Division here at Spa-Francorchamps in the Ardennes Forest of Belgium. One of the legendary tracks where the likes of Graham Hill, Jackie Stewart, Damon Hill and many others have also won. Good evening to you all. I'm Peter Markroft, and joining me in the box tonight is Dan Fisk. How you doing?
Hi Pete, yeah, really good, thanks. Today's tyre choices are the hard and the medium compound, DRS activation.
Well, today's are the intermediates and the wets.
Well, yeah, it is currently wet out there, so, and with the threat of rain in the race as well, but DRS, if need be, in the race is after Eau Rouge, one of the legendary corners at this Spa-Francorchamps circuit.
And of course, down the Camel Straight to Lake Hume, very good place to get an overtake if you really get the car cooked up.
Definitely. It's a very, very long straight. Speeds in excess of 210 miles an hour in qualifying. In the race, probably, well, with the DRS, you are hitting that figure, but obviously with the heavy fuel at the start, we'll be looking 200 miles an hour, which is an insane speed. But let's get onto the track. Emu is currently the provisional pole position holder with a 155.3, almost a second quicker than his championship rival F1 Nige. And Inmate's actually very close to that.
It's just gone through Pouhon now and is going through into the campus section and down to Stavelot at the end of Sector 2. Very tricky section this, and it's one of those where you can decide if you're going to use high or low downforce. Oh, Perez, retiring from the race. You know, you can't do that. Okay, sticking with Emu though, it's got the highest hook, so take a bit too much curb there coming out at the end of the corners from the end of Sector 2. Coming into Blanchimont now, got to be careful of this curb on the left. And he's managed to ride that quite beautifully considering the rain. Into the much more reworked bus stop chicane, nowhere near as good as it used to be.
No, I have to agree with that. It's nowhere near.
I remember in 1998 when Damon Hill led Ralph Schumacher home. Meanwhile, confused Emu, 54.9.
Improved his time by 4 tenths there. Nige's got it all to do. He are now on board with him.
It's just gone through Lake Hume now and coming down to Bruxelles. Into the start of Sector 2. This downhill braking zone is so tricky to get right.
That is.
And it looks like the rain's getting heavier as well.
It does look a bit darker, you know. But that is the difficulty of this track. It is just a complete different, just because it's in the middle of the forest.
That's it, exactly. When you're spinning up the rear tyres and you're flicking the water in the air, all it does is hit the branches and come back down to the track. Anyone who saw the 1998 race will tell you all about that one.
Yeah. Having said that, Red Snapper didn't get that question right on the driver challenge. That was one of the questions about the pile-up. 1998 was the answer. He did not quite get that one.
Okay, Red Snapper, 10-second penalty in the race for you.
That's probably the only way I'll beat him tomorrow.
But in the meantime, carrying on with F1 Nige, you're just going down through Blanchimont. Get her flat despite the rains. That's really good technical techniques there. And into the bus stop chicane now, getting on the curve, very dangerous in the rain. You've got very, very ballsy to do that. And down it goes. I don't think it's going to be good enough though.
54.9.
54.9. It has just beaten Emu.
Is
by
Emu
literally 1/100th of a second.
Is Emu on a lap?
He is on a lap. He is, yes. He's just going through down towards Blanchimont now. So he is in about the ballpark zone, but this is very, very close. Literally 1/100th of a second.
I don't think he's on a lap, mate. I don't think he's on a quick one.
He's not now. He's just spun it going into the bus stop chicane. Downshifted too quickly. Inmate's just gone off at the exit of Sector 2, so that's him no. XRL Lightning, he's on a lap, I think. He's just gone through the Courbet Paul Ferrer. on the way down towards Blanchimont. And the time, similar to Emu's last run, so I don't know if he's on a lap. He's certainly got it planted to suggest he is. A bit of traffic ahead of him. It's kind of like he's locked up and got a bit wide there in the bus stop. And I don't think that's going to be an improvement now.
Nowhere near. But it's fifth place on the grid, that's not too bad. Should we get some of the drivers in for a quick word? I don't know who to get, but
yeah.
Who should we get?
Oh, so we'll get the poor man in. We've got to get the poor man in here.
Yeah, go for it. Are you inviting him, or...?
I am, yes. And we'll also ask the new guy, TDN Minato. New drive for this week.
Okay.
So we'll see. And Nige, congratulations. Very, very closely for pole position. How was it on the track?
A bit difficult, actually. At first, I thought it was going to be full wet, but it fired up pretty well. And it was...
There was literally about 1/100th of a second between you and Confused Emu, and with your close duel that you had in Hungary, do you reckon it's going to be round 2 of that this week, around Spa?
I won't put it past him. I mean, let's be honest, he's probably the quickest driver, so probably going to be me and Emu at the front, probably, but I'm looking forward to it either way.
Okay, well, as I say, best of luck with that. I mean, it's threat of rain in the race. Have you got an interchangeable setup, or are you fully dry?
Well, I'm fully dry, as always.
Okay, well, I will hope the conditions stay off for you. Best of luck in the race tomorrow. Thank you for your time. Meanwhile, Minato, first qualifying here in the Excite Racing League. How did it go for you out there on the track?
Went fine for me on the track. I've got a dry setup for it, so pushing the limit a little bit.
Was it a bit edgy towards the end when the rain seemed to get a little bit heavier?
Yeah, it did. I thought it was going to dry out a little bit, but it did seem to get heavier. I mean, I went out for another lap, and yeah, you could tell it was a lot heavier.
Well, the key thing is, you are starting in the middle of the pack. What are your expectations for the race? Have you set yourself a goal on where you want to finish?
Well, it depends on the race. If it starts wet, which I'm hoping it doesn't, then hopefully I'm going to get a good start, try and keep myself out of trouble. But apart from that, I'm just hoping to try and keep a steady pace.
Okay, well, best of luck. As I say, debut race. One of the rivals for the area, RB Kubica, he was a debutant in Hockenheim and came on the podium. So anything's possible. Wish you the best of luck.
Right, thanks a lot.
Well, some interesting comments from the drivers there. Evidently, the conditions weren't quite as good as they looked on screen.
No, definitely. It's going to be interesting with that 20% rain as well. You just don't know what tyres to go on here, nature of the track, so it could just.
We did see in Hockenheim, same kind of thing.
Yeah, that is a similar sort of area though. It is in the middle of a forest, isn't it? So.
Yeah, it's not quite like it used to be, but the point is, in that race earlier on in the season, it was a 19% rain there as well, and it did rain for the final stint of the race, viewers. So if the same thing happens at Spa, with the undulation changes, especially around the likes of Radion, Orge, and down through Pouhon, places like that, it's a very difficult place to get the car hooked up. Really not very simple at all. And of course, Spa's one of those circuits that's a bit like Montreal and a bit like Suzuka, where you can go between high and low downforce. And the question is, which way do you do it? Do you go through sectors 1 and 3, have the car as fast in a straight line as possible? Or do you take the Red Bull approach from Lacoum onwards and have higher downforce?
Exactly, that is something I've been playing with the setups this week. It is difficult. Obviously, with this game, you want to have a lowish downforce, but you can play with it. You can go sort of 6.6 and try and have that mid-sector advantage, but then at the same time, you can be a lot quicker down the straights, sort of 7-8 miles an hour with a better acceleration as well.
This is where sectors 1 and 3 on low downforce comes into it, because not only have you got the Camel Straight where you got the DRS open, and if you got the high wing, you're sitting duck there, but if you get a really good exit off Courbe Paul Ferret and down through Blanchimont, you can get through someone at the bus stop chicane too.
Right, well, let's ready this up, guys. Round 12 of the Excite Racing League F1 Division, brought to you by GT Omega Racing and GamePod.co.uk. Who are you going to go for? Do you think Nigel's going to have enough?
I think Emu is probably going to get revenge after his very close finish last week.
Emu's going to be strong. I'm going to have to probably agree with you. I think Emu will win the race. But I will say, watch out for Danny Pearce, 95. 2 wins in GP3, one absolute country mile, and he has got the pace to make a good start and hopefully a podium in his first race in the F1 Division.
Well, in the meantime, we're going to get ourselves out onto the track, so stay tuned, viewers. We're here for 44 laps of the Spa-Francorchamps circuit in Belgium. And the good thing is we're right at the back, so we don't have to go out everybody's way.
Right, so Nige on pole. Me at the back. Great. And Swishbone also 2 at the back. They always pick the best drivers to have a look at.
Wonderful.
No one can beat me in TDM Minato at the back after their first qualifying session. No one can beat me. This is second. 5 red lights.
And the lights out are red as we go. And in the meantime, at the start, F1 Nige's got a great start. But look at that, Emu's been crowded out by the Mercedes driver
Great
of Kubica.
Start from Kubica there. And they've all got round
Indeed.
turn 1 safely.
That's very unusual. Normally it's very easy to pile up there at La Source. Now meanwhile they go side by side into Eau Rouge. And look at Inmate squeezing him out. Mark Webber and Fernando Alonso there. And he confused Emu's come back into it, getting a great exit off the top of
XRL Lightning's there as well. They're all trying to get around Kubica now.
Check out the Williams, Lightning on the outside. F1 Night's got a little bit of a gap moment. Inmate's missed the chicane at Les Combes, and that's opened him up for Lightning, who's going to force his way through.
Great move.
But that's towards Bruxelles. Now look at this. Kubica on the inside of Inmate, and Emu's following him through.
That's a good pass from Inmate. No, Inmate, Emu on Inmate there. Great move.
He's got to commit to that. All of them going as wide as possible there, using all the AstroTurf and more.
That is a difficult corner. It's slightly off camber, that one.
Yeah, okay. Emu tried to go on the inside of Kubica down through Pouan, and it's not an easy corner to do that. And look at Inmate. He's all over the back of him. Oh, is that a mistake from Nige?
Nige ran wide at Pouan there. He ran wide onto the curb, trapped him out. Perez made a move on his teammate Inmate there. Great pass.
But in the meantime, F1 Nige now finds himself in 3rd place, right behind Kubica. And then there's a whole train of cars behind these 3.
So who's our leader then?
Our leader at the moment, I believe, is XRL Lightning.
What a start for him. He wasn't expecting that in 5th place on the grid.
He's actually got a good lead as well. He's just coming up towards the bus stop now, and I reckon he's got about 2 seconds in the bag.
And here goes
Everyone now just trying to put the inside.
Oh, Danny Pierce. What's going on here? What's going on there? Look, everyone's getting caught out. Inmate big time there. We're going to have a look at that one again.
Yeah, it's been kind of, a fun out. Look, it's 5 cars abreast down towards La Source.
Oh, come out of it unscathed.
I don't know how. Danny Pierce 95 finds himself in 7th, just ahead of Sergio Inmate, is in 8th, and then down in 9th, Lewis Hamilton. The Force India pairs bookending the points.
And got no one competing in TDM Minato just behind them.
Inmate's got a fantastic run off the top of Radion, and he's aiming to try and get through on the inside of Les Combes. And that's a move done and dusted in the DRS zone. Without DRS, ahead of him, F1 Speed's gone a little wide. And Inmate's got a fantastic exit out at the end of Les Combes, coming down towards Bruxelles. He may be able to get on the inside here. Thought better of it. But behind Inmate, of course, we have the Williams being piloted by Danny Pierce, white on his gearbox. These guys are all separated by about 2 seconds.
Yeah, very, very close, and actually no one can beat me. He's starting to close the gap in on his teammate as we have Inmate run wide at Corn again. And that will allow
it's so
Danny
easy to trip up there. If you hit the curb on the outside, it just sucks you in like a vacuum. And Danny Pierce goes round. Meanwhile, Lewis Hamilton going round the inside at Campus, and he just had to back out a bit, but got a poor exit there, Inmate.
Yeah.
And down there into Stavelot, he's got a fantastic chance to get a run down towards Blanchimont.
TDM Minato's made the move on no one can beat him. Having a look at Lewis Hamilton now, these 3 very, very close. 4 of them, all 4 probably within about 7/10 here.
And on the next lap, of course, DRS does come available, so you've got to be in the right position to take full advantage. Well, meanwhile, a mistake there from No One Can Beat Me. Oh, meanwhile, Inmate's gone wide at the bus stop. Minato's looking to the inside, and it's a contact there with Lewis Hamilton.
Just like contact, yeah. And as we have, no one can beat me. He's in the pits. Or is that
ahead of them also, we've got someone else ahead in the pins.
No, it's a drive-through penalty.
Oh, I think that was XRL Lightning. It was. He had a drive-through penalty. He's in 7th place.
Oh no.
And now he's got inmate all over his gearbox coming off the top of Radion. He's going to have DRS. There goes the flap. And he's trying to get a big closing speed. Inmate commits to the inside, coming down towards Vacuum.
He's going to go for it, isn't he? He's going to break
and he's out. That was terrible. That wasn't even close. And XRL Lightning's just gone, thank you very much. That was amateur driving that. You've really got to take account of the extra difference, downforce when your DRS flop's open.
Have you got a note of these incidents so far, or?
No, I haven't, sorry.
Can you, or?
I can.
Yeah, that's alright. Keep an eye on the action. All it is Lightning's penalty, no one can beat these penalty, and lap 1 bus stop, just want to have a second look.
Good. XRL Lightning / no one can beat me, okay.
But apart from that, it's actually been not too bad. But I just want to know why he got a penalty. I'm going to Danny Pearce now on the back of, is that Emu in 5th? No, it's F1 Speed. He must be really pleased with that start, 5th place. But,
it's just what happens when everyone starts tripping over each other, don't they?
Yeah, having a look at it though, there is a quite big gap between him in 5th and the 4th place driver, who is, that'll be Perez.
That's Sergio Perez.
He's doing well.
Perez is not too far behind Emu, actually. He got 4th drive out of the bus stop.
He is impressive this season.
He is, yeah. Now going back behind from F1 Speed, you've got Danny Spears in 6th, and he's right up his gearbox.
He'll have the DRS. There's no point going for it now, is there?
That's correct. So you want to get as close as possible out of that source, get over the detection zone, get a good exit out of All Rouge and Paddy
he's used all of his
and then blast down the straight. He's done what Kimi Raikkonen did to Michael Schumacher last season. Get as close as possible now, so you get a great exit off Radion, and then there goes the flap.
This should be a rather easy move, but...
Yeah, down the camel straight towards the Blake Coombe, but can he get the car stopped? We saw him go off, and he's followed him.
What?
And then he's gone back, and then he's glitched behind.
He's got 5-second lag, that's what it is.
Right, that explains that one. So Inmate's now in 7th place. F1 Speed is ahead in 6th place.
That is really bad.
And F1 Speed nearly went very wide.
Danny Pearce was going to be 4th place. He's actually dropped to 10th because of that.
That's terrible.
TJ Minato just overtaken.
But in the meantime, Inmate's got a very, very close run of F1 Speed going down through Pouhon, but he's gone too close to the inside, junk on his tyres, and that's compromised his exit, coming down now towards campus, and F1 Speed's pulled about half a second on him there alone.
Lewis Hamilton running deep into campus there. Inmate in front of him.
I think it's Lewis Hamilton is on the prime tyre, and all it runs ahead of him is on the option tyres.
Well,
so he's showing excellent pace.
Though the problem is, if there's this rain about, then that might negate the whole tyre.
It depends though, I mean, if the rain falls at the right point, if you use the prime tyres, go along, and the rain falls, you only have to make one stop. Now, meanwhile, Inmate on a look at the inside of F1 Speed at the bus stop, but he's backed out of it. And there's only maybe half a second between these three.
That's something we don't have, whereas in real life, when we commentators, we have a radar. Well, we don't have the radar, so we cannot tell when the rain will be falling. It will be not quite yet, perfect blue skies.
F1 Speed's going to be in trouble from Inmate here, because Inmate saved a lot of his curves, and he's very, very close going into All Rouge. Much better entry than F1 Speed, and he got a much better exit off Radion. He's not even waited for DRS, he's gone straight through. Now, of course, F1 Speed's going to tuck him behind, he may be able to get some kind of tow, but look at the speed overrun difference. Now, can Inmate stop the car? Yes, he can.
It does help there, because it is a slight uphill braking zone. And you can always
even so, he can still be affected so easily, yeah.
Danny Pearce, 95, and TJ Minato. Danny Pearce has overtaken Minato in the last lap.
So these two fighting for the bookend of the points, and both very, very close to go. It's like you're getting lots of sporadic battles throughout the field at the moment. So it's quite insane to watch, but it's also difficult to follow at the same time.
Well, we haven't even looked near the front yet. We've got XRL Lightning in 5th place after his drive-through penalty, which we'll still want to know a little bit more about. Perez has dropped off Emu now by quite a bit. Emu on the prime's looking good. Is that Kubica in seconds, lapping reasonably. Then the lead is Nige on the option tyres. He is flying. Look at that lap time, a 52.6 compared to
compare that to F1 speed, is on a 55.6.
Kubica's on a 53.6. What's Emu on a 53.7 on the prime? So I think their lap times are quite close. Perez is up 54.3, so even 53.6 from XRL Lightning. He seems to be on podium pace today, but it's obviously that driver is not helping at all.
No, exactly. At the same time, come back to the race order. Lassource now has just seen F1 speed go through as fast as he can, but he's dropped off from the back of Inmate, and I don't know if he's going to have DRS here.
Inmate's getting quite close to XRL Lightning as well.
That's what I was about to say, yeah. So XRL Lightning may be under threat here. And there goes the flap indeed. So Inmate's going to be trying to catch up. Oh, he's topped out already, coming down the Camel Straight. He's topped out so early there, but meanwhile Lightning's made a mistake, put under pressure at Lake Coombe, and he spun across him.
What happened there?
Basically, XRL Lightning was going through Lake Coombe, and what happened was he lost it, spun, and Inmate hit him and spun.
So just a racing incident, really. And Lightning was
well, it depends if the game gives any penalties. That's the thing.
That's the sort of penalty I could see Inmate getting, just because it's the game that it is.
Well, we've got to keep an eye on that, but as I say, as a result of that, Inmate has lost out terribly. He's well down in 10th place now.
Was it something that Rapid could have avoided?
Well, for me, Lightning took the wrong line at the first corner and it compromised his exit, and it just spun his car around.
Yeah. So it wasn't his fault.
Meanwhile,
why Inmate?
Well, Inmate was just taking the race in line. He had nowhere to go. That was my opinion, anyway. But going back to the racing now, F1 speed coming up very close behind Lightning into the bus stop chicane. Lightning stays out. He's not going to the pitch just yet.
Inmate's been really quick this race. It's a bit of a shame that he's gone all the way down. Quickly we'll see him fight back up. You never know these wet conditions that he may have later could change all over again.
Exactly. The wet conditions can totally throw the balls into the air. But meanwhile, F1 speed, I don't think it's going to be close enough for DRS here. He's going through Eau Rouge now, just into Radion. And here we are onto the Camel Straight. There goes the flap. And he's not yet topping out, but I think he's just too far back into Lake Coombe.
218 was that? That's
yeah,
crazy.
Very high. Well, that's what you want in a race like this, where you got very long straights DRS. It's a great way to set the car up. And F1 speed's got to try and stay close to Lightning, and he may well find himself fighting for 5th.
Who's coming onto the back of this? We've got Lewis Hamilton on the prime tyre, not that far away, probably about a second and a bit. Danny Pearce is probably a further 3 seconds back on that, and then Bernardo in 9th, again about the same distance. Inmate in 10th after his issues. He has got clean track now, so clean air to go fast on, hopefully. You see some good lap time.
Yeah, and the unfortunately name No One Can Beat Me finds himself propping up the field in 11th place going through Pouan now.
Well, that's the drive
he's
through,
lost a lot, lost out quite badly.
If he didn't have that drive through, he would be in between Danny Pearce and TDM Bernardo, right in between.
But in the meantime, F1 Nige is just completing his lap now. He's done a 1:52.6, his fastest lap. And he's about 3 seconds clear of RB Kubica, who's just crossed the line now. He's still about 8 tenths off that pace.
Very impressive.
And he's just made a mistake. Gone very wide and got junk all over his tyres through the source. That could make him suffer badly for Eau Rouge.
Well, I was going to say, Perez has set an almighty lap time of a 52.8, which is only 2 tenths off what Nige is setting.
That's very impressive pace from Perez,
yeah,
so he's finding his feet again.
But
interestingly, Emu, he's done a 1:53.6 on the prime tyre. And the hard tyre is very slow.
It's a second off, nice, the gap thing. I would say the tyres were about 1.2, 1.3 around here, just because it's a long track.
Oh, Emu's made a mistake going through the Bruxelles there, gone very wide, and that's compromised his entry as a result. Going down towards Pouon now, and he's being followed again by Perez. Perez is about maybe 2 seconds adrift. So if he can keep the pace up, he might be able to put Emu under threat here. But it is all rather spread out the front at the moment. Meanwhile, there's been an incident on track. There's yellow flags going. XRL Lightning being chased by F1 Speed. I don't know why the yellow flags are out.
I don't know why that's for. Everyone's in position. No one's lost the wing or anything. Minato's run very wide at 4. They just came back onto the track and it inmate passes with ease. We've got, is that probably 11th place? Has stopped on the track. No one can beat me, just stopped. He did say you'd have to leave if his child woke up, so that might be what it is, but that's not the best place to
he stopped right in the middle of Lake Hume. And that's at the end of the DRS zone.
It is invisible, and by the time the cars get there, he will be disqualified, so...
Well, F1 Nice now is just going up to Eau Rouge, so he's about 20 seconds away from that. So this will be the interesting test there, because if Nigel isn't careful, he may well find himself suffering, overtaking or speeding under yellow flags. So that's something to go watch out for. He's just coming up to the end. He's just been disqualified now, literally 2 seconds before he hit the Lake Hume chicane. Timing to perfection.
Right, so Nigel's got about a 5-second lead to 2 bits, so it's lapping not bad. Just a few tenths per lap off, but it's doing not too bad. Emu is about a couple of seconds off, but Perez is the one who's making a bit of a march now. He's starting to really close in on the back of Emu. Only about a second away.
He is, yeah. I mean, he's just coming down towards Pouon now, and again, that gap has come down. But also, it looks like the gap to Kibitza's come down ahead. So I think Emu's having to push as hard as possible. And Perez there got kissing the curb on the right through Pouon. It's so easy to get dragged over that curb. It's really dangerous. And coming through Complex now, Campus, and he's just getting a little bit closer. He seems to have a bit more confidence in the car. Coming through Stavolo, and again, Emu seems to go a little wide there. He's gone over the curb, kicked up a bit of dust, and that will have slowed him down as we go around through Kirby Paul Ferret and down towards Blanchimont. Behind these guys in 5th place, XRL Lightning is still being pushed by F1 Speed. F1 Speed's only about a second adrift of Lightning, so these guys will be getting into the juicy action quite soon.
Minato's keeping up with him, mate, at the moment, so he's just starting to improve his pace a little bit. It's 54.7 is his quickest lap. Outbreaks himself slightly going into bus stop, and so does Inmate.
And indeed, an Inmate's got a very poor exit. And now, Minato is only, 3 tenths maximum behind. Coming into La Source, he's going to be in prime position to get right near the DRS and do exactly to Inmate what he did earlier on in the race. Get a good exit off Eau Rouge and Radion, and then blast down the Camel Straight. It's about half a second there. Got a poor exit out of La Source, though. Now coming over the top of Radion, and both guys about equal. There goes the gurney flap.
He's just pulled away, though.
I think he's deployed all his curves. I don't know what's happened there. Yeah, he has. He's just cursed his way through. But that's going to leave him vulnerable later on in the race, because now, coming through Lake Hume, Minato is about 7 tenths behind. And then you've got that slow Bruxelles corner, very, very slow, but you're very patient with the gas. And as you come out now to go and use as much of the astroturf as possible, I mean, they do that for real in the real race. Though the rules do say you should keep 4 tyres, at least 2 tyres within the white lines. So we've got to be careful as drivers doing that and gaining too much of an advantage. Yeah, exactly. They're going through campus. You can do the same thing there if you're not careful. There's quite a lot of AstroTurf runoffs here now. It's not like the old days where there was a tree pole or an electricity stump. So it's like it's a bit more forgiving these days.
Yeah, I have to say, on a brief side note, the direction of F1 in terms of things like runoffs, I'm not a big fan. Look, gravel's much safer than running runoff.
Michael Schumacher, Cops, 1999. He disagrees.
Yeah, but if you have, for example, what about Massa in the Ferrari in Hungary? He had a spring hit his head, no gravel there, he just goes straight to a wall.
Yeah, you got a fair point. I think for me, the more concerning thing is like it's more about how easy it is to abuse it.
Yeah.
Having runoffs there is actually quite safe because you can spin the cars around. David Coulthard campaigned for him quite a while back while he was still driving for Red Bull, and the campaign it'd be easy to spin the cars around. But again, people can extract the Michael very easily. If you go somewhere like Abu Dhabi, for instance, you've got pretty much a car park next to the track, so you can really exploit it if you've got the position. I mean, look at Pouon there. There's such a massive runoff area for your tyre walls. There's no gravel, nothing.
Have a runoff, maybe a couple of car widths, but then after that it should be gravel. Because
that's fair enough, can't argue with that.
You should be penalised for making errors like that.
That's it. I mean, if you go to Suzuka and look at Degner Corner, for instance,
yeah.
Make a mistake there, you're going straight into the tyre wall.
Is that still gravel?
Yep, it is, yeah.
Good.
It's one of the few corners there is where it's still got completely gravel there. Oddly enough, China is a track that's got runoff everywhere, apart from going into the pits, where there's a gravel track.
That does sound quite
I would say viewers, are there any other tracks that have got bizarre things about them that make you wonder why they don't do it more often? Because that's one thing that I did like. It's like, if you get your pit call wrong, you've got to pay the price. Getting back to the track action, confused Emu now, he's about 1.5 seconds adrift of Kubica, and he has actually dropped Perez.
Yeah.
Perez has suddenly fallen away quite badly. And his tyres don't look very good, Perez. His left tyre, especially at the front, looking quite bald. Well, XRL Lightning fighting his way back. He's now in 5th place. He's just gone through Eau Rouge. So he's doing quite a decent recovery drive after that couple of incidents involving himself and inmate. And F1 Speed's been dropped off completely by him as a result. And Lewis Hamilton's now on the back of F1 Speed.
So he's not using DRS. He had DRS down there and he didn't use it.
I wonder if he's got a problem with DRS. I've noticed that on this game it breaks quite often in races for just no apparent reason. It just does it. So I wonder if that's what's happened there. It's a bad time to get it.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's got a better run through Bruxelles, though, coming down towards Pouon now. So he's got a better line. I think the tyres of F1 Speed's car being on the options have just gone off. And, of course, Hamilton being on the primes, they'll start finding the bite a bit. Now, coming through Pouon, yeah, you can see he's got a bit more confidence in the car there to get more power on the line than F1 Speed has. And as we come down here, down towards campus, yeah, once again, both guys not really troubling the apex, but you can hear from the throttle from Hamilton, he's on it much more consistently. And as we come out through Stavolo, yeah, F1 Speed's really struggling. That car's skating around quite a lot. So coming down to the slower corners, the likes of the bus stop and the likes of La Source, Lewis Hamilton should be able to gobble him up.
No surprise that Emu's dropped Perez. His lap time's only 10th off the quickest race on the prime.
Well, meanwhile, Lewis Hamilton is having a go at F1 Speed here through Blanchimont, and now they're coming into the bus stop chicane. He's trying to go on the outside the long way round, and I believe he's just managed to get the move done, and F1 Speed's peeled into the pits, that's why.
Nice for Lewis Hamilton. Perez is in the pits as well.
But Danny Pearson, 95, and Inmate are still going at it hammer and tongs. In fact, Inmate, I think he fancies a chance here down into La Source hairpin. Bit of a classical to overtake that, but he's backed out of it, realising he can obviously go for the DRS instead, and he's keeping very close tabs as well. And as a result of this, now Inmate's in a perfect pound position going into Eau Rouge. Oh, he's cut the inside there. What was that? And off the top of Radion, I'm not sure if that gained him an advantage, but he's certainly got the speed overflow here. And there goes the DRS, and that's as cool as you like. Job done. But it makes locks up a bit going into Lake Coombe, and Danny Pearce has got a better entry. So it's all swinging back and forth like a pendulum here between these two as they come down into Bruxelles. And once again, a bit of a lock up there from Pearce, but it's not hurting too badly. And I actually get the feeling that Inmate, again, I think he's getting speed's problem of starting to struggle with his tyres a bit.
Yeah, this is the time of the race. He's made that 15. He's the cut off for the first stops. And lap 19 or 18, the Prime cars, I think. Prime and Option, they last quite close. You can make them do that, but...
Yeah, they are the hardest compounds in the game, so on one of the fastest stressing tracks. So that's what you can do with them, but again, it depends on the way you drive. You can't overdrive, especially under high fuel, as Danny Pearce nearly makes a terrible error there, going through Stavelot. And now heading down towards Blanchimont. Again, his tyres are looking quite second-hand now, and he has been dropped quite badly by Inmate here. Inmate's got at least 2 seconds on him. Meanwhile, up ahead, we've got a bit of a duel going on here between Perez and in the Sauber in 6th place, and Lewis Hamilton, who's in the Force India. About 1.5 seconds between them at the moment. Perez is on fresh tyres, though. So while he's on fresh options, Hamilton's on old second-hand primes. So this is where we're going to see some battle join quite quickly. Coming into Eau Rouge. Perez, again, he's done the same thing as Inmate. All 4 tyres off to the left of Eau Rouge. I think he backed out of it. Where his car was positioned, he was afraid he might take them both out. Good drive from Perez, that. It's actually very mature. It's about being able to make sure you can make the move stick. It's too easy to go in, or banzai, and find yourself spinning in the wrong direction. Kimi Raikkonen, Fernando Alonso, Jenson Button. What have they all got in common? They all got taken out of a race by Sergio Perez at one point.
Exactly.
Oh, Perez, speaking of that was after a commentator's curse. Cut the inside of the hairpin at the poo on and nearly spun out. Dear, oh dear. But yeah, he's still keeping in touch and distance with Lewis Hamilton, because Hamilton's tyres, of course, are the primes. They are 14 laps old, so they are going to be much slower. And as we come through Blanchimont, Perez has got just such better traction off the corners. Yeah. And I think he might be thinking about going around the outside of the bus stop chicane here. He has to be brave. He's backed out of it. Hamilton's put his car slap bang in the middle of the road. No. Well, he'll be hanging up in the DRS zone. Now he's lighting up the tyres there. He got on the power far too early. And all he's doing now is digging his way back. Yeah, hit the curves, and that's dug him in. Into Lassau's hairpin, and again you can see the difference in grip there. Look at how much earlier he could turn than Lewis Hamilton.
It almost surprised Perez, he got quite close that
ball. Yeah, it was like, I can turn it up. So we got into Eau Rouge, and now it's Hamilton who's done all 4 tyres left, but he's compromised his exit off Radion, and as a result Perez is committing to the outside. It's brave. Oh, meanwhile, Hamilton's not giving him any room, so Perez has switched to the other side. A bit of a light nudge on the way for a good measure, and into Lake Coombe, that job is done.
There is a pass under the surface there.
Yeah, because I thought Lewis Hamilton was being... I think he was also being a bit unfair with pushing the rules there, because he didn't really give him the width on the left, so Perez did well to not only get out of that move, but switch to the other side with DRS. Actually, very good driving. Oh, no one can beat me, he's lost connection. Hang on, mate, he retired a while ago.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, these two are very close together, Perez and Hamilton. Moving back through the field, Inmate's on his own in 7th place. He's got no one near him. F1 Speed, he's the same in 8th, just coming towards Pouon now. He's on his own. And coming out of Bruxelles, we've got Danny Pearce 95. He's on fresh prime tyres, so he's gone to the slower stint here. And we've got Minato propping up the top 10. He's about 3 seconds off his teammate's pace. F1 Nige is still leading the way. He's on to lap 16. He's not pitted, and he's still booting the option tyres. So he's got quite a lot of faith in these. Kubic's followed him. Yeah, he is. These two have got good faith in these tyres. I wonder if they're trying to push for a one-stop. If they could make it to about lap 19, that might be possible.
Yeah.
But again, with
knowledge from me, I need to know this.
For all the other people from all the other divisions watching as well, you can keep an eye on this. Now, Perez, meanwhile, is now in 4th place. I think he may have got... Yeah, he has actually got past Hamilton. I didn't see it happen on track. Oh, yeah, he did DRS.
Oh, no.
He did DRS.
Alright, yeah, that's right.
I was thinking I didn't see it on track on what year it did.
Lightning's coming to 6th place of the prime prize.
Yeah, so he's put himself in a decent position.
Yeah, he's done 16 laps in first in.
He's got a few seconds in hand on F1 Speed as well, who's only just ahead of Inmate, who's come out on fresh options. So that's interesting. Inmate's committing to a 2-stop here like his teammate Perez. There's quite a bit of junk on his tyres when he came out of the pit stop though. And again, he's on his own. It's a few seconds adrift of his speed, but that gap will come down due to the compound difference.
I wonder where Perez will come back out in comparison to the others in front. The other 3 in front have not pitted yet. He's probably only about 12 seconds away from the Indy, I would say, maybe that looks. He's just literally going
he's also
and the others are just going canvas now, so...
Well, Confused Emu's just gone through Stavolo, so yeah, it's probably about the right kind of time. Oh, Emu's gone off and very nearly hit the wall. He took the long way round through Corby Paul Ferret. Luckily, he's avoided the wall and he's going through Blanchimont now, but he'll have been brown streaking his trousers at that point, I'm sure. And Perez, he's just going through Blanchimont now, so he's actually caused quite a lot up there, actually, now I think about it. Because Perez has just gone through Blanchimont now, and Emu's only just crossing the line.
I think a pit stop's worth about...
10 seconds.
Yeah,
that's what's between them.
Worth about 14 seconds. It's quite a short one because of the...
You've got the compromised pit entry though.
Yeah, that's very true. If you knock an end plate there, that's an extra 3-4 seconds versus the stop.
It's not even just that, it's the fact that you pretty much do a U-turn, because you have to go in the wrong direction to the flow of traffic, technically. Yeah. So you do have a very slow entry there. But meanwhile, up ahead, Emu's hanging on to a solid 3rd place. Kubica, he's just going through Lake Coombe now, and is only about 6 seconds adrift of F1 Nige. So, early days in this race yet, battle's still joined up front. And these guys, I'm pretty sure they are going to try and push for a 1-stop, because if they can get these tyres to like 19 lap 20, if the rain holds off, they'll be able to make the primes last for the 24. But if you look at the sky coming out of La Source Happen with Minato, it started to cloud over, and we saw this at Hockenheim. It took about 15 laps and the rain came down. So by about lap 30 to 35, we may see the rain.
F1 Speed is getting chased down by Inmate now, who is managing very well.
Yeah, they're both just going through Bruxelles now.
Yeah.
And Inmate seems much more confident, but that'll be the compound difference. These soft tyres, well, the soft dirt tyres, they warm up a lot easier than the primes. So he'll be enjoying the extra grip for now, but then again, they do fall off quickly. Having said that, if my prediction for the rain period comes out, Inmate's in a very good position, because those tyres will start to expire about that time.
Yeah, very true. It's very interesting to see when all the clouds start gathering and when we're going to see some rain. I would say we're looking mid-30s, maybe
that's what I reckon.
So,
I reckon about 30 to 35.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, Inmate's still closing the gap. There's about 2 seconds between him and F1 Speed. Just both of them now just hitting Blanchimont. And this takes us down, of course, to the bus stop. I missed the old bus stop. Need for Speed Pro Shift 1 had it, where it went the other way round. I missed that. They should bring it back. Yeah. And meanwhile, Inmate has got a better exit through the bus stop there. Don't know why I went Australian for a second there. And he's closed about a second on him as a result.
Yeah, he will get DRS, I would say.
Interesting, we've got a car that's leaving the pits. Who's that?
That will be... Who is that?
That's Lewis Hamilton.
Lewis Hamilton, yeah, that makes sense. So he's just come out in front of this battle, so that's very well done from Lewis Hamilton there.
Inmate now is going to...
He'll do. He'll probably do like he's never got better today, not where he is.
Well, there goes the flap as they're going down through the Camel Straight, and he's just going to blast by F1 Speed like he's not even there. But can he stop it into Lake Coombe? Oh, he's learned his lesson from the start of the race and got that hooked up. Yeah. And he's only about 2 seconds away from Hamilton now. So if you can keep the hammer down while those tyres are cold on that Force India, he might be able to get in position to follow up the move straight away. Coming now down through Bruxelles and into Pohon. It's kind of strange because this corner's not actually got a name according to the official site map, and then you've got Pooh on itself. There probably is one there, answer on the postcard. But needless to say, he's gone a bit too wide to the inside. Got junk all over his inside tyre there, mate. That'll compromise his exit down towards campus. Yeah, the field's started to actually spread out a bit at the moment, so while we've got a bit of a field spread, I'm just going to go through the fastest laps for you all. F1 Nige, he's currently, he's just gone into the pits, yeah. He did a 152.6. Emu is now in second as well, he's on a 152.7. Kubica stayed out on a 153.2, he's currently leading the race. Perez, a 52.1 on those fresh options, he's putting the hammer down while he can. XRL Lightning.
Where is Perez going to come out in relation to Nige? That is the question.
Well, that is a good question to ask, isn't it?
Quite clear.
Let's get back.
Well, it's really about 5 seconds, but that was... Perez could easily come out in second place here.
Well, Nigel's come out ahead of him. Nigel's just going down the Camel straight towards Lacombe, and he's about 2 seconds clear of Perez. Now, the question is, Emu's obviously not stopped yet, and neither is Kubica. Now, Kubica's gone 1 lap long, 19, so 20 laps. He's definitely trying the one-stop strategy. But with the rain prediction, I'm not sure why you'd do that.
Yeah, exactly. Unless they are trying to go options again. What is Nigel on the prime? Yeah, he's on the prime. So.
Yeah, because he switched on the classic one-stop strategy, hoping that the rain stays away, and if it does, he can commit to a one-stop. It's a gamble, say it's always the way, but with the way those clouds are rolling in, I reckon it's more likely to rain than stay away.